panelists. There are two issues here, Navika, and I'm glad that you touched upon something other than the PM security, which I will harp on just in a minute. But we have to look at the larger picture here. And the larger picture is that I think the opposition should realize now, or at least the people should, that a huge chunk of the reason why Modi keeps winning is not just because of his policies, but also because of the policies of the opposition. It constitutes a huge chunk of the vote that Modi gets because he knows all he has to do is to sit back. The opposition plays right into the Prime Minister's hand. Now, as you said, there is nothing wrong in being critical of the Prime Minister. The problem comes when you are critical on the wrong issues and full and brimming with agenda. You talked about Rafale, you talked about Pegasus. Navika, you forgot about Justice Loya. You forgot about a lot of other things, Ayodhya. You forgot about so many instances where the opposition, in its haste, just because it hates Modi, just because its hatred is more bitter than a mocktail of neem and Karela juice. And that is what Modi knows. Modi knows that sooner or later what happens is that the hatred for him transmogrifies into hatred for India. So while the hatred for him might garner some votes for the opposition, the people know that those who start hating India, people would never vote for them. And that is exactly what is happening. Modi hate is fine. हेट करना है करो, लेकिन उस चक्कर में इंडिया को हेट करना शुरू कर दिया हर पॉलिसी पे, चाइना पे, रफाल पे, ऑन एवरीथिंग. And that is the problem that the opposition doesn't. Now, if I can take a couple of minutes, because this is a mirror of sorts, what the Supreme Court has said today. And to be honest, that this was a shocking breach of security and protocols was beyond doubt. And I'm glad that the Supreme Court agrees and has held the SSP responsible. What remains to be established, however, is whether this was collusion or plain incompetence. Three issues here, Navika, and let me delve into them one by one very briefly. Number one, it was established that the SPG had briefed the state administration and police multiple times about the possibility of a road blockade because of protests, about an alternate route, even about bad weather and the chances of it infringing on the security arrangement. Number two, it was established how this information was freely shared by the state police with the protesters. Three, it was established by the Supreme Court that ASL was conducted by the SPG almost 5 days ago. Now these are facts. They cannot be disputed. So I ask, why didn't the heads roll? Congress leaders and their minions, some of them are on the panel tonight, were on an overdrive ridiculing the nation's concern at this serious lapse. Remember the incident when the same Congress created so much hue and cry about a spot of green laser light that fell on Rahul Gandhi's chest oppressor 2 years ago, which they claimed was from a sniper gun. Turned out it was a flashlight from the camera of a Congress party photographer. But these same guys claimed it was an attempt to assassinate their great leader. Modi and Shah were implicated. Their parliament well was rushed at. The streets were poured onto. Op-eds were written on vengeful Modi. And when a Supreme Court verified lapse occurs that jeopardizes life and limb of a sitting Prime Minister, these same guys are silent. Hardly surprising, therefore, that a narrative was built over weeks preceding this lapse to make the PM feel guilty of his security cover, starting with all that hullabaloo over 12 crore armored Maybach, even though as the government later clarified, it was all under routine. But Navika, just 10 seconds. For all those who called this a jumla and that Modi was scared, let me remind them that this is the same Modi who continued to deliver his speech even when bombs were exploding all around him in Patna. This is the same Modi who at the height of Kashmir insurgency and Intifada went all the way to Lal Chowk without a bulletproof jacket and unfurled the tricolor. So think before you make a fool of yourself. Respect the post of the Prime Minister at least. Yeah.